Hey students, as it turns out, for someone my age, it's a little hard to see the yellow when I used a yellow-green. So just keep in mind, if one of your complements is towards the top of the wheel, it'll just be a little harder to see. But it's worth it. I think it's stunning. So what I've done is I've trailed around with my Lost and Found very delicate light pencil line, ideally a 2H or a 4H if you have them. And then when it gets too iffy, I just took an eraser and erased where I felt like it got too dark. Because I don't want to take away the quality, but I just wanted to point this out, that as you're going around searching for these gorgeous carbon lines, which I'm really happy about, you don't want to outline all of them, but if you really can't see, like with me, I couldn't see right here. So I could go like this, just so I could see, and then take an eraser and treat it so that it's not all the same. This is very delicate, and you basically are just doing this journey through looking for those carbon lines, and you've forgotten all about that. But we want all these cool little nuances. Now in some cases, see how the carbon line goes on top of the darker values? Some of you won't even have this issue. But like right here, I can't really see right here because it's yellow on yellow basically. So if I go like that real light, I kind of got it in the wrong spot, but then I can come back and lighten it just so I know it's there. See here, I don't need to outline. So this is going to vary for everybody based on what, like here, it's way too dark right here. Let's see, where did I just see that? Right here, it's way too dark right here. So I can just lightly erase that. But see, this is what we're going for. This is so cool. Is somebody would see this and not know. But this is the stage before the final stage. And the main thing is we don't want to ruin this with the final stage. This is going to be a nuanced situation. Now the first thing I would do if it were my piece, well it is I guess now my piece, is come in here with a flat brush and decide what's going to be in front and what's going to be behind. Now I have this, for example, egg shape here. This is so gorgeous. There is no way I would touch this at all. Even if in the picture there's stuff on it. If there's a shadow, if there's whatever it is on there, I am not touching it. The whole point of this project is to save the areas that are stunning and soften the areas that are not as great. Now, to me, this whole darn thing is gorgeous, but some things are more beautiful than others. This is beautiful. Let's see what else. This is beautiful. And that's the gummy bear shape. Not that I care that it's a gummy bear, but as it turns out, it's a gummy bear. Now, instead of painting it on the inside, I could paint around it and get it to come forward as a splatter design. This is gorgeous, so I would paint behind. This isn't as interesting, so I would paint here. Now, whatever your piece calls for is going to be the next thing, and we want to use a very pale saturation. Some people are going to do flare out, some even wash, some drip down. Mine, to me, is calling for a lot of even wash. And remember that all of your applications have to be one of these hues. So I have to decide what's warm and what's cool. Now this, to me, is a major piece in the picture. It's this giant piece of rectangular candy that pops forward. It sits on front of things. So if I were to paint this, I'd ruin the whole thing. I want to paint this. See the value here and here? Guess what? I have red-violet. I can use my red-violet as a value, leaving this completely untreated. I would never put that line, I would never put those dots. The whole point of this project is that the splatter design itself is the piece. If you paint this as a painting, it ruins the whole picture, it ruins it. And people tend to ruin it. You want to travel around, where's the value, where's the value, how can I make everything pop without painting the actual objects? Usually by painting the negative space, you're done with the whole picture. You've got these subtle lines, you've got these great values in the back, less is more, and then as we look at it on the posts and in person, we're going to be able to tell what can happen next. If you overdo this, it's ruined. But thank God, guess what you still have is this. So if anything happens here that you're heavy-handed and don't do it too slow and deliberate like we want, then just do a new splatter, let it dry, and trace again. You can do this multiple times. You can end up with a wall of beautiful paintings. But the thing I really wanted to show you now is that now we're in the nuance. Now we're deciding what happens where and how to use that even wash technique from the other project, as well as in some cases we might do a little wet and wet, we might do a little drip, and I'm going to show you on here some of those methods. But because this, and each is different, calls for even wash, I have that other video on there where I demonstrate drip down and flare out, so you have options. But this is the thing where it gets really hard to see up close, but it's important for you to see it, even if we have trouble on the computer. Cool. Get ready for next steps.